about me is that I've actually had a lot of sleep paralysis in my life. Felt like I've had a dark energy around me. I've always felt negative. I've always felt heavy. I've always felt anxiety. And the next story goes to show that there is a dark energy, and maybe it was the cemetery. To this point in my life, I've only seen this thing once, but it was the most scariest, terrifying thing I've ever gone through in my whole entire life, even with my sleep paralysis. And my sleep paralysis has happened since I was probably 10 or 12 to my early 20s. And this was in my mid-20s. After the Fairfield house, I moved into a house 2 blocks away, which was closer to the cemetery. It's a block away from the cemetery. I moved into this basement suite of this heritage house in Victoria. First, I didn't think anything of it. It was a tiny little studio, tiny kitchen, 2 windows. It was small. I was excited, I got my own space, and I started making music. It was really awesome. I was in a good spot. I had noticed that the girl next door, because there was 2 suites in the basement, really in the basement, half underground. She had the biggest bags under her eyes I had ever seen. I thought to myself, holy shit, her bags under her eyes are insane. What the is she doing? Why is she so tired? This is going to be a little longer, so please tune in for part 2. Why is she so tired? I thought this. I didn't say it to her because I'm nice. I don't overtly say, oh, you look tired. I go about my business and I don't ask questions. One night, I had asked my friend, because I have trouble sleeping, with my sleep paralysis and all my sleep anxiety and everything, I had been like, oh, what do you use for sleeping? And she worked at a naturopath store, and she said she uses melatonin. And so many people use melatonin and don't have any issues sleeping. So I take a melatonin, the normal dose, and I slowly start to fall asleep, which is great. I have trouble sleeping, so I'm feeling the heaviness, I'm feeling ready to go to sleep. I end up going into sleep on my back, which I never do. I always sleep on my side or my stomach. And maybe this is why. While I'm slowly starting to fall asleep on my back, I start to feel like I'm getting sleep paralysis. This time was different. All of a sudden, I see this huge dark figure. Looks like a man, pitch black, the blackest black you've ever seen. You know that infinity black paint? It's like that. So it's standing at the edge of my bed, and it's giant. It's the biggest thing. It doesn't look like a human. It looks bigger than a human. This is a little bit longer, so please tune in to part 3. I notice that it's moving really fast, faster than I've ever seen anything move. So quick, speed walk. I'm trying to keep an eye on it because I can still see, and I'm watching it go back and forth. And I'm thinking, is that my ex? Who is that on the end of my bed? What is that at the end of my bed? All of a sudden, it is right beside me. And this is the crazy part, is it ended up grabbing my wrists, and I felt it. It grabbed me, and it really quickly pulled me down. And all of a sudden, I got up and I'm hyperventilating. I'm freaking out. What the fuck is that? Oh my God. And there's nothing in my apartment. It was just terrifying. I obviously leave all my lights on in my apartment. I just thought maybe it was a one-off. Am I having a nightmare? What was that? And I was like, whatever that was, it was in my imagination. That's pretty much what I thought. The next night, all right, I'm gonna try this melatonin again. Maybe it'll work. Whatever it is, I'm gonna try. So again, I take a melatonin, which was a dumb idea. I lay down, same thing, on my back, and I'm falling asleep. And all of a sudden that figure comes back and he's doing the same thing. He's at the end of my bed. And I'm like, it's back. Make sure you tune in for part 4. I'm like, it's back. And all of a sudden it's right beside me again. This time it doesn't just try to grab my wrists. It grabs my wrists and my legs and tries to pull me down. And this time I'm up. Every light is on. I've got music on. I remember leaning against my dresser and breathing so fast and not knowing what was happening, because I've never heard about this or experienced this or nothing. It was not something that I was aware of. I went to my friend and I was like, dude, what is going on? I've had these crazy nightmares. She's like, oh, sometimes that happens. People just get night terrors or nightmares with melatonin. I have never taken it again. I will, under supervision, try it again, maybe, but it is something that I believe will cross the veil. Because melatonin will release DMT, I feel like that is actually something that can help see the other side. On top of that, this old heritage building that I was in, which was an old heritage house from the early 1900s, maybe even later than that, potentially had a spirit in it. Considering that girl's big bags under her eyes, I feel like she was dealing with it for a while and maybe didn't even know. Since that happened, I got really curious, and this friend that I had online mentioned a shadow figure, and it sparked something. I was like, shadow figure? What is that? And then I dove deep. I started learning about everything I could with shadow figures and malevolent spirits, and realized that there is a lot of people that have had this exact same type of experience, have seen shadow figures. There's shadow figures caught on cameras. There's so much evidence to these shadow figures that it just makes sense. It makes sense that it happened. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please tell me your scary stories or your ghost stories or any stories you have about shadow figures, because those are really interesting to me.